Hi, it's Cheryl and it's doodle time. Let's chat while I draw. I've not done any doodles for a long time and I decided I'd do one. I'm self-isolating in my studio, so as well as writing and illustrating, I thought I would chill with some green and blue art. I placed some random watercolour down on a piece of paper and let it dry. I had no idea where it was going. I just thought that the colours looked okay. It looks pretty boring to start off with, but I knew that I would be adding so much to it. Next I drew some shapes, really just using the colours and the soft edges. For a guide, I used the 0.5. I thought I would try to keep it fairly earthy with organic shapes, leaves and flowers, etc. It evolved to be all sorts of things. The first pen I used was a 0.1, which was all dried out and I just threw it straight in the bin. Not a good start. Gee, it's been ages since I doodled. I thought it might be relaxing, as with all this COVID-19 scary stuff, we really do need to relax. I hope everyone is staying safe. I'm really lucky as I live with my son and my husband in a rural area. We have neighbours, but we are surrounded by paddocks. We have paddocks on two sides of our property. We all have at least an acre, some have more. We have chickens, a dog, birds, and the company of 2 horses that usually hang their head over the side fence. They know I'll always give them fresh grass. We can walk along the roads because there's hardly anybody out this way. It's basically paddocks and small farms. We also have large yards and a couple of little paddocks, so I'm really lucky. It's autumn in Australia. It's just starting to cool off. We haven't had a lot of heat, which is good because of all the fires that we had at the end of last year and early this year. It's sad, but some people are not taking this virus seriously. But we are. At this stage, I only go out for food or medicine. I've included white ink and marker pens in this art. No rules means you can do what you like, and I add whatever I want, which I think might look fine. I've been making things all my life. I have been many things in my life: a mum, a wife, a writer, an artist, a wildlife warrior, and a journalist. The one job I'm taking the most from at the moment was when I was a nurse. I wash my hands like I have CV-19, and then by some horrible chance, if I get it, I will not pass it on. What I do want to pass on is this chance to spend some time with you and spread some ideas and art and relaxation. With doodling, you can choose what shapes you want, the colours, the size you like, and you can stop and start at any time. You can have a break, or if you think it's finished, you just stop. It's really up to you. You don't have to finish doodle art at that time, but you can always come back to it, and sometimes if you turn it around you see something else and you like to enjoy it and just do something different in there. The colours are a little different to the screen, but it's lovely. I like it. The paper was watercolour paper, but it rippled, so I'll have to have a go at ironing it. I saw a YouTube video on that. I even used some cheap coloured pens with this work, just to have fun with it. I really do hope that you are all keeping safe and that you are taking the opportunity to have fun at home. For me, I don't actually go out very much because I have a studio and it is chock-a-block full of art supplies. I'm writing children's books at the moment, so I'm always drawing, I'm always rewriting. I have an old iMac with just music on it basically. I can art out here, I can write out here, and I can edit out here. And I just absolutely love it. I've got heaps of books, I've got a little fridge. I don't have a loo, that's the only downside. But I quite like it out here. And there's the bird cages just outside the door, so I can hear the birds twittering. I can hear the crows off in the paddock, and I can hear the magpies and the mudlarks. And we have lots of different birds around. In the evening, the kangaroos come down from the hill. They come in behind my pool in our little paddock, chewing all the grass along the septic line. The horses that are in the paddocks beside us, they're not ours. But because we're here all the time and their owners aren't, they think they belong to us. It's quite sweet. They often have their head over and we give them some fresh grass. And we top up a tank of water for them to drink from, just in case they don't want to go all the way over to their tank and have a drink. The minor birds, there's a lot of them. They're rushing around all the time. We have a lot of corellas, which are like cockies without the yellow crest. They are making a mess of the trees, unfortunately. But in all of this, it's just nice to live in the country. I'm not that far from a fairly busy country road, but we don't notice it that much. Just the sounds of the birds and always being able to have space to sit out on the veranda or sit out in the yard or sit out in the paddock if we want to. We've got a big high pile of old wood and rubbish and old furniture that once it's dry we can burn it all and have a bonfire. We can play music a little bit louder because we haven't got neighbours very close. It's just nice and we're very lucky to be in the country. And I'm quite happy to self-isolate and do my art and my craft and my writing. I just decided that I might do a doodle video, even though I haven't done them for ages. I just thought it would be fun. I've had to fiddle with the lights to get it right. I've now decided to change cameras because the camera I used to use just is annoying to get on and off. And when the battery goes flat, I have to take it off to put the battery in. Whereas if I use a video camera, the battery just slides on the back. Much easier. When I'm not doing drawing of doodles, which is not very often nowadays, I'm doing a lot of research on children's books. I have a knack of putting a lot of detail in, and I think sometimes children's books are better with less in them. So I've been practicing minimalising my drawings, breaking them right down. In that said, the book that I'm working on at the moment, called Winston the Wombat Wants to Fly, I am actually putting quite a lot of detail into them because they look like they're pencil drawn, but I'm actually drawing them digitally on an iPad in Procreate. Wonderful program, not very expensive, the eye pencil is very expensive, and heaven help me if I ever lose it. But the great thing about doing that is that I can draw many parts, many layers of each picture, and if I don't like it, I can move the layer around, and this gives me a lot of flexibility for designing my book. I hope to have that book out by this year, and I hope to have a smaller, quicker book out as well. I'm aiming on doing some content less or low content books like diaries and that. And I'm also working on some magazine journals, magazines on lots of things, and magazines on art. I'm lucky because I can do these. I'm lucky I've got the training to edit. I'm lucky that I'm artistic, and I'm lucky that I have a massive imagination. So I can write about a lot of different subjects, and I'm madly writing a lot of different articles to go into my magazine. I've got a lot to learn too. What are you up to now? Are you home? Are you homeschooling? Are you not working? Are you working from home? Have you lost your job? So many things happening, and yet there are still people just going out about their normal day, socialising, and that's kind of a worry. We're purposely staying away from our older family members. We don't have the coronavirus, but would we know? And you could spread it around so quickly, so we've decided to try and stay away. My husband did have to go and help his mother recently. She was unwell. He had a mask and he had gloves on, and he went to the chemist for her and all that. But you have to do that for family. Times like these, which are very, very scary, are a great time to reflect on what you're doing, reflect on where you're going in life, reflect on what you want to do, reflect on your family, reflect on your path and your past. I'm doing a lot of that. Because I'm an artist and a writer, and that I can function totally on my own, in my own studio, I love it. And it's not really a big change for me at this stage. I don't get to go to the op shops or to the park as much as I would like. But at this stage, we're not in total lockdown. And even if we were, I'm lucky I'm in the country. I've got space around me to move. I'm not in an apartment block like some people are. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will be putting other things up, more books, more about my journey with my art, and probably, if I can get around to doing it, some other interesting videos. It's always about the art, it's always about storytelling, and that's the most important thing. You can follow me on Instagram. I am C-A-Cadzow, artist writer. Just put in C.A. Cadzow and you should find me. Same with Facebook. You can find me there as well. I absolutely love how these little leaves turned out. They're quite pretty. I'll probably use them again in something else, maybe all leaf patterns in it. That would be good. And also it would test my abilities. My screensaver picture, it's of some, I think they're oak leaves, I'm not quite sure. It was taken quite a few years ago. Nice close-up of the leaves crisscrossed over each other, and the shadows and the patterns become quite abstract. I really enjoy that. I'll try and find it and put it up on the screen. A huge flock of hawks has just flown over up the back paddock, probably 25 of them circling, and all the small birds went quiet. Our birds in our aviary quietened down and hid and waited. And now that they've passed, you can hear all sorts of birds chirping. There's magpies, mudlarks, blue-faced honeyeaters, starlings, minor birds. I just saw a butterfly fly past. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you heard that. That was a mudlark. It's lovely being in the country. It's just so wonderful to hear the birds. You wake up in the morning, it's like living in a zoo, but I love it. I often go back to doing the vines to fill in a space. I rather like that. Something that I've never done before are the feathers, and I thought I would just try it. I think they're quite sweet. They're really lovely to draw just on their own, but to use as a doodle art filling is something new that I've not done before. I'm quite happy with them. I think they're really cute. I'll probably be doing that again soon too. If you do any doodle art and you put it up on Instagram, hashtag it doodle love heart art, and I'll get to see it. That will be fun. Thank you very much for watching my film. Don't forget to thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe because it makes me very happy. And stay safe, and see you out the end of all of this.